All right, let's start with the educational part where I pretty much tell you why I do what I did. Okay, starting off, let's just go ahead and just let you know about this view here. All right, again, we have our steering wheel, and this is the left steer tire. So this kind of a lot of people have been requesting that I show that so you guys know exactly where it is. So now, if I'm backing up into a tight dock, now obviously this is not a very tight dock at all. All right, I have all this room over here, so normally I would turn around here, crank it hard to the right, then crank it to the left, getting my trailer pointing in this general area. But today we are going to pretend that we are in a really, really, really tight truck stop, or tight dock, or just tight in general. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just, so you get a better view, let's bring all these trailers down so you get a better understanding. Now, let's talk about this particular space here. Okay. Now, your average truck stop, when you have parked trucks in there, all right, you'll have roughly around the trailer's length, this much area. Okay. Now, and it's not more than enough, it's just enough. All right. So, as you can see, we can't quite even fit a trailer in here. But we are going to take advantage of the width of the space. We have all this space to mess with. All right, so because we can't get our trailer perfectly parallel before it even enters the space, we're going to have to hit it at an angle. So there's definitely going to be some getting out and looking. Okay. All right, so let's get on with it, and I will explain why I did what I did. Now, let's look at where I'm pointing. All right, my steers are pointing roughly straight. Well, as you can see, this yellow piece of duct tape, which will kind of indicate that when they are straight. And so this particular trailer here will be in the left-hand mirror. Now there is a lot going on. I understand. You have a steering wheel, you have a steer tire, you have the view when you're looking out the window. You have this. There's too much to look at, just like it is when you're actually backing up in real life. So we're just going to be looking at what we need to look at once and not looking at everything. Or if you want to look at everything, you might want to watch the video again. Okay, so you've already seen the video from the drone point of view in the very first part of the video, and then we've seen this particular view. So now we're going to see them all together. Okay, so right now we are pointing towards this trailer over here. And same thing here. Okay, so we never want to be pointing towards the space. A lot of people, when they're starting off, they feel like the trailer needs to be pointing, all right, towards the space. That's a bad idea because it needs to come in an arc. All right, okay, because now why are my axles all the way forward and not to the rear? Well, it would be actually be impossible to get it into this space if they were to the rear because we have no room. So the only way to really get it in here, it might be a little bit possible, but it'd be very difficult. There would be a lot of jackknifing. It just would be very, very difficult, and I wouldn't attempt it because there's no point. It's just better to get out and look and be safe about it that way. Okay, so let's just start backing up. Now, I'm going to be slowly jackknifing. All right, so right now my steers are just a little bit turned to the right. All right, as you can see over in this mirror here, I'm starting to slowly jackknife. All right, so I'm turning a little bit more because right now I'm watching my trailer tires and I'm watching the space. All right, of course, and I'm sticking my head to the right too, making sure I'm not going to be hitting any of these trailers over here, the the imaginary trailers, that is. Okay, so now I'm going to be focusing, watching the right-hand mirror too. Let's just pretend, and then because we're going to be using a little bit of the space here. As you can see in a second. Now, at a certain point, we need to get out and look. So let's get out and look for a second, okay? So what are we looking at here? First of all, this is where I'm going to stand. It's right here, because I want to see where this trailer is going to hit, along with the curve that it's making. Now, this looks like it's only a few inches away, but let's just, because of the angle that we're at, this is the top of the trailer that we're parking next to, and this is the top of my trailer. So we're looking at around 2.5 feet. There's actually is plenty of room, and I'm going to get closer. I'm going to get very closer. Now we're looking for like pretty much it's going to be this point here and around here. So we're looking at around 2.5 feet. Now, so from my point of view, sitting in the truck, it does look like I'm probably going to hit this trailer over here. But then when I get out and look, it's not so bad. All right. So let's just go ahead and back up a few more feet, and then we're going to get out and look again. Well, my version of getting out and looking was stopping and taking a peek at the drone over here just to make sure I'm not hitting. But you, please, would get out and look. All right? Because I'm not going to take the chance at a truck stop or anywhere because I don't want to ding on my record. All right? So now, as you can see here, I'm getting closer to this trailer. Now, look where the trailer tires are. All right? So this is the point that once this gets past the center of the axles, gets past, it no longer will get any closer. Okay? So not quite yet. And there we go. We're actually getting further away from this trailer now. All right, now this would probably be another good time to get out and look. So you would take a look. You would stand back here, watch. Let's actually rewind that for a second, all right? Because I got too busy over here and I didn't explain when I was actually jackknifing. Okay, so at this particular point, you have to make sure you have enough room over here to chase it, to follow, whatever you want to call it. All right, because when you turn your steering wheel all the way to the left, the front of the cab will go to the right. All right, it needs this much room. All right, any if you're up against the fence, like if you're running along, this is what I see this happening all the time among really tight docks. All right, the truck is running parallel to it, like it's supposed to, but then when it's time to start chasing it, they haven't got the room. So let's just take a look at the cab for a second. So let's go hard left. And when I'm watching the front of my truck, and now it's starting to go away finally. So you need that arc. Let's go ahead and take a little better look. All right, so now that we've seen that, let's go back to where we were when it comes to the back. So right now, the center of my axles is just about to cross this line, which means I'm not going to get any closer to this, so I have 3 inches. Now, one of the sad facts about trucking is that you're going to have to do these kind of docks. You're going to have to get out 15 times just to make sure you're not hitting it. All right, it's just one of those things you're going to have to do. All right, it's a sad fact that some of these docks, but again, don't be afraid to ask somebody for a little help. Don't forget to ask somebody if they're may just spot you. You may not ask for any advice, but you just want to make sure you're not actually going to hit, and make sure that your signs, if you are going to have some signs that he's going to tell you, make sure you understand what he's talking about when he's waving his hands, back up, because sometimes when people are saying backing up, it kind of looks like they're saying stop at the same time, or vice versa. But anywho, so again, my steers are all the way to the left. I'm looking good. I'm nearly parallel right now. I'm looking at my tires. I'm looking at that really faded line in the dark. All right, in a second here. All right, so there's no point of sticking your head out the window. So now we're going to be focusing on the mirrors. All right, so we crank it hard to the right there. Let's reverse that for a second. All right, hard to the right allows us to straighten our tractor and trailer up in the shortest distance because we have no room to mess with. All right, now we can do a nice little straight back, just a little bit of balancing act. And there we go. And we're in. All right, so well, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and share with all your friends, share with anybody you think is struggling. All right.